Hello, hello. Try it with a microphone today. Test, you can hear me? Awesome. Oh, cool. Beautiful. That sounds okay? Oh. Oh, okay. All right. There's a little bit of a sound delay through YouTube Live, but we'll work with it. See how we go today. All right. Let's all come back and sit on our mat. A little bit, lengthening the spine from the top of the head. Imagine a line pulling you up from that crown spot of your head all the way to the sky. Nice and long. You can have your legs crossed in front of you or one leg on the other, half lotus. Set up for the hips. Through the lower back as well. Lower back as well. Is it better?
Take the microphone off.
Yeah, I do. Shit. Sorry guys, we're having a few technical difficulties. I'm just trying to figure it out.
There you go.
Okay.
Basta guys, as we phone making.
Yeah. Okay. So now that there's been a gap. Sorry guys. Who's in here? Should we try Zoom again?
No, it's good. It's good.
Okay. So sorry for the wait. Just had issues with microphone. All right. While we're here, relaxing in our seated position, think of something that you're grateful for. Maybe something that happened recently, yesterday, on your day off, Good Friday. Think of something beautiful that happened, even if it's just the smallest thing. second wave of appreciation for it. All right, let's reach our hands up all the way to the ceiling. And then all the way forwards, place the hands on the floor and just walking your fingertips forward as you pull your chest towards the floor. Pressing into the hands. Nice long spine, tuck your chin a little. Walking back up. We'll walk our hands over to the right side, one hand on either side of the knee, and walking them forwards again. Fold over your right knee for me. And then press into the hands and push your left sitting bone back into the floor for me. Feel that opening of the left hip and lower back. Let's walk over to the other side. You're going to get nice and juicy in the hips today. Folding over your left knee. Just rounding the back, nice and easy here for this one. Being gentle. And then maybe pressing that those hands strongly into the ground as you push your right hip back into the floor. Connecting that right sitting bone to the ground. Walking your hands back into center. Sitting up nice and tall. Opening up the palms. Let's do complete yoga breathing here. So let's go a little deeper into the breath before we start moving. So you can place your hands on your abdomen. We're going to do a few breaths into this abdomen area. So you want it to relax and come out as you breathe in. And contract it and pull the navel to the spine as you breathe out. So by placing your hands there, you can really focus on moving the abs out of the way so your diaphragm has that space to breathe nice and low. All the way to the bottom of the lungs. One more breath. And exhale. And then focusing on that middle section of our lungs. So let's place our hands on our ribs. And you can have the middle fingers touching gently. And then as you breathe in, you'll actually notice that the ribs will expand and your middle fingers will separate. And then as you exhale, let the ribs come in again. And your fingers will touch. Inhale, expand outwards. In, exhale. One more breath in your own time. Filling up that middle part of your lungs. Then we'll move to the top section. Let's place our hands on just underneath the collarbones. You can tuck your thumbs under your armpits if that's comfortable. And then feeling your chest opening and expanding right at the top. Trying not to hunch the shoulders. Relax the shoulders down your spine. Back. Just broadening through the chest as you inhale. Then exhale, feel it dropping and contracting. So this 3-part breath teaches us to expand the lungs in different areas, and then we'll bring it all together. So let's place one hand on the bottom, abdomen, and one hand on the top. And let's fill up your lungs like a glass of water. So you're filling up the bottom first. Inhaling all the way to the middle, to the top. And then exhaling from the top, release it down to the bottom, drawing your navel to your spine. Let's do a couple more here. feeling that wave come across the front of your body. Nice and easy and gentle. The slower we slow our breath down, we activate our vagus nerve, which is the part of our body that helps us calm and feel a bit more at ease. All right, let's place our hands on our right side of our body and then come over on top into all fours, tabletop position. So you've got your shoulders stacking over the top of your hands and your knees are underneath your hips. And then we've been doing a few cat and cows to warm up the spine. So we're going to bring the chest forward in between the hands, reaching that heart forward, inhaling, and then exhaling, tucking the chin in towards the chest and drawing the spine up towards the ceiling. So inhale, press that chest through between the arms, reach, and exhale, tucking the chin in, rounding the spine. Do one more inhale, press the chest forward. And then this time tuck your toes and then exhale, just lifting the knees slightly as you round your spine. Start engaging the muscles. Drop the knees, inhale, bring your chest forward. And then as you exhale, tuck the chin, tuck the toes, and lift the knees just slightly, just about 2, maybe 1 inch off the ground. Engaging the core. We'll do one more here. Inhale, reach the heart forward. And then as we exhale, tuck the toes, lift the knees slightly, rounding the back, pulling your navel into your spine. Engage. And release the knees back down. Keep the toes tucked because we're going to walk our hands back now and come into mountain pose. So we're walking, rolling over the feet and then into a halfway fold and coming all the way up to the standing position. So in mountain pose, we've got our feet underneath our hips, about hip width apart. Shoulders are back and down our spine. I know you guys are a little bit delayed, but you'll see. Place your hands open to the front. Lifting in the arches of your feet. And try to engage the tripod of your feet by pressing through the mound of your big toe and small toe, and also the front of your heel. So maybe shifting backwards and forwards to feel that weight in the feet. Then find that midpoint, lifting your arches. And we'll just check in with our pelvis too, because we want to try and keep that pelvis in a neutral position in most positions we do in yoga. So placing your hands on your hips for me, and tuck your tailbone for me, so your lower back rounds slightly, like so, and then tuck it back and arch the back for me. Just do a few tilts backwards and forwards to feel that difference. And then we want to meet in the middle. So we don't want to overarch so our back feels compressed. We want to lengthen the back a little bit, but don't lengthen it too far to make it uncomfortable for the front of the body. So you want to feel long, both in the front and the back of the body. So that would be your neutral position of your pelvis. So when we're there, let's relax our hands again by our sides. Take another deep breath in. And exhale. We'll release a few of the energy that we don't want. So let's bring our hands up all the way to the sky. Reach, 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 reach. And then as you exhale, we're going to flick the hands down to the ground and bending the knees. So inhale, reach, 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 fill it up. And then exhale, release it down to the floor. Do a few more here. Inhale, big exhale. I want your neighbor to hear you. And then placing your hands together, hands at heart center. Take a moment to notice. Your heart rate might have sped up a little bit. Feeling slightly warm. And then let's walk our feet slightly wider than our hips. And I want you to sway side to side as we inch down into a yogi squat. Nice and slow. Coming down. If you need help with your hands, maybe place them first on the floor and keep that nice bend in the knees. And coming down lower, maybe shifting side to side, distributing the weight between the feet. You can be up on your balls of your feet here if that's easier. It's really an option that I'll leave up to you. Or you flatten your feet, lifting in the arches still and spreading the knees nice and wide. Maybe you can place your hands together and widen the knees with your elbows. Find stillness here. And then placing both hands on the floor, again, lifting the hips up and walking your feet in towards each other. Halfway fold, so ragdoll down, placing your hands on your elbows, sway side to side. Then rolling up gently, one vertebrae at a time, to standing mountain pose. I'll get you to step to the front of your mat, if you're not there already. Rise your hands up to the ceiling and then halfway fold again, bending the knees. Place your hands on the floor and step your right foot back for me. You're going to lift in the chest, press the hips down towards the floor, and then slide that left foot back to join the right. Widen your knees to about hip width apart. The mat width apart, and then sit your hips back towards your heels for me. Place your head on the ground, so child's pose here for a moment. So you catch your breath. And then walk your hands over to your left side of the mat. Reach them over towards the left. And then relax your head back down between the arms. Giving that side of the body some space. A moment to lengthen. Walk your hands back to center on your mat. Coming to all fours. I'm going to tuck the toes. Bring the knees in again underneath your hips or into up onto your feet into plank. So your choice if you want to be on the knees for the plank or up on your toes. We're going to lift up into downward dog. Hips come up to the sky. Inhale and lift your right foot up to the ceiling. So three-legged dog. Exhale, step that right foot forward in between your hands. Drop the left knee down. Rising up the chest, hips come down towards the floor. And then joining the left foot to the right foot, halfway fold. Inhale, rise up, bend the knees. And exhale, bring your hands to heart center. So inhale, rising the hands back up. We'll do that on the other side. Exhale, halfway fold. Inhale, rise up halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step the left foot back to lunge. So hips come down, reaching forward with your heart. And then right foot steps back to join the left. We'll do your wide child's pose. Sit your hips back towards your heels. Drop your head to the floor. Walking your hands over to your right side. So off the mat, reach them as far as you can, and then relax that head again in between the arms on the floor. Walk your hands back into the center, lifting up into all fours. So come onto the plank position, bring your knees in hip width apart again, or lift them up on your toes, hold it, and then lift the hips up to the downward dog. Exhale. Lifting your left foot off the ground, reach it towards the sky, and then pull it through all the way to the front of the mat. Dropping that right knee, lift your chest forwards, drop your hips towards the floor more, and then stepping that right foot forward to meet the left. Halfway fold. Bend the knees, rising up. Hands come to the ceiling. Place your hands to heart center. We're going to come down the middle of the mat this time. So spread your feet wide. Toes are slightly pigeon inwards. And then bending your knees here and placing your hands on your thighs. Halfway fold your upper body over the lower body. And really relax your arms and your head. Should have a generous bend in the knees here to really give your lower back a rest. Then maybe when you've halfway folded and you're down low, you can try to straighten out the legs a little bit. Let's heel and toe our feet together a little bit closer again. I'm going to come down to our yogi squat one more time. So bringing the hips towards the floor. Feet are just a little wider than the hip width apart. And we'll shift side to side, feeling the hips opening, getting a little massage. Might feel like a slight pinch, a little pressure. And then we'll sit back all the way onto our buttocks and turn our feet to the side. So you want your feet straight out ahead of you, sitting on your bottom. And then pull in your right knee in towards your chest for me. Give your right knee a hug with your arms. Wrap your arms around. And tuck your head down onto the knee. Lifting the chest now, let's lengthen the spine. So head comes off the knee. You can place your right foot on the other side, so the outer edge of that left leg that's still extended. Or just place down the left foot inside the groin of your left leg. The right foot inside the groin of your left leg. Like so. Or you're crossed. Wrap your left hand around the knee if it is still up. and pull it in towards your chest even further. You can use your right hand behind you to lift up the spine, give it support. Little twist. All right, release that foot. We're going to walk our hands around to the left side, coming into a plank again, twisting the body, pressing firmly into both hands, spreading the fingers nice and wide, and then sliding our left knee towards our left ankle. Sorry, left knee comes to left wrist. Losing my words today. And we're going to pigeon pose. So try to bring that shin forwards in line with the front of the mat. Lifting up nice and tall through the spine. So lifting up on the fingertips if you like. Pressing the chest forward. And then drop the hips a little lower. Maybe walk your back foot back a bit further. And we can walk our hands forwards down onto our forearms if you want. And then think about an internal twist around your hips here. So think about pulling your left hip back more and your right hip forward. Like you're going to shake your booty, but just that slightest movement. Whoop. Feel it opening more on the left outer hip. And just relax your head down here for me, relaxing the shoulder area. There's no need for tension there. Make sure you're breathing. Imagine the oxygen traveling to those tight areas, giving them some release. Walking back onto the hands, lifting the chest up again. Let's tuck our back foot on the toes. We're going to lift and rise into downward dog, lifting the left leg right off the floor into three-legged dog. So reach it straight up to the sky, nice and high. And then bend that left knee and open up the hips for me. So your left foot should come close to your bum. And try to keep your shoulders square here though, so you're not turning your whole entire body, just the hips opening. And then bring that left knee in and forward as we come into plank. Tuck it in towards your nose. And one more time, three-legged dog. Press it up to the ceiling. Open up that hip again, bending the knee in the air. And if you want a little bit more, you can look over to your right side, see that foot, and see if you can twist and open into wild things. So placing that foot behind you, opening up the left hand, and pushing your hips towards the sky. To come back, if you are in wild thing, just turn and look over to where your hands are on the mat, placing that left hand back, and then the body will follow. Walk your feet in towards the front and rising up to mountain pose. Hands come to heart center. And we're going to do a balancing pose here. So let's lift that left leg up and feel nice and strong and grounded in your right foot for me. Find somewhere to look at that's stable in front of you and just gaze at that same spot. So get your nice focus. Lift that left knee. And then I want you to cross your left leg over your right, like you're sitting down like a lady. And bend into the standing foot as well. So stand Strongly in that right leg. Start bending down a little bit into the knee. Squeezing those thighs together. Maybe add the arms. So your left hand goes underneath your right hand and then place the back of the hands together. Or you can slide that left finger, the left fingers into the right palm. Eagle pose. And then lift your hands to the ceiling. Opening up the back of the shoulders. Maybe sit a little deeper. Nice focus. And then rising up in the legs. Uncross those legs. And then gently step that left foot back into a lunge. Lifting your hands up a little bit higher. Maybe a slight back bend here. Rising up. Looking up with your eyes to the sky. And then release the hands all the way to the floor, framing that front foot and stepping the right foot back to meet the left. Wide legs will come to a child's pose. Well done. And we'll work it on the other side, hey? So lifting up into all fours. Lift up the hips to downward dog. And then walking your feet towards the front of your hands. We'll find our yogi squat. So coming down, shifting left to right. And then if you can, sit all the way back onto your bottom and bring your feet in front of you. Left knee tucks in towards your chest this time. So your right leg is nice and long, on the floor. Toes tuck towards your face. Flexing the foot. So give your left knee a big hug into your chest and drop your head down towards that knee for me. Lengthening the spine now, so let's reach our spine up nice and tall. Feel that line again, like at the start from the top of your crown. Lift you up. Maybe use your hands to pull in towards that knee to help. And then you can place that left foot across the right leg, or just drop the knee to the side. That was your option here. If you're crossed, wrap the right hand around that knee. And we're going to do a slight twist towards the left side of the room. So you can use your left hand as another spine behind you, lengthening. And maybe gaze over your left shoulder. Really squeeze that right knee in towards your chest, keeping the spine nice and long. Really feel that opening in your bum with the hips. Right, release that foot. We're going to turn over towards our right side this time. Twist our body around into a plank. So hands are firm on the ground, fingers spread nice and wide. We'll come up into a downward dog. Hips rise up to the ceiling. Relaxing your head here. And then let's bring that right leg forward, bending the right knee. And right knee comes to the right wrist this time. So pigeon pose. You can, depending on how flexible you are here and how open your hips are, you can place your right foot up higher to make it a bit more of a stretch. But if you want a little bit less, pull it in closer towards that left hip. Let's reach up onto our fingertips. Lift our heart up. And then dropping down, maybe a little lower in the hips. Walking that left foot back a bit further, walking our hands out to the front. And lowering our upper body down onto our forearms. Maybe our head can rest on a stacked wrists. Remember to bring out that sponge. So think about pulling that right hip back, left hip forward. Give that a little extra squeeze. Oh yeah. And walking up onto our hands again. Lifting that heart for me. And place both hands flat on the floor. Tuck the back toes. I'm going to rise up into downward dog again. Bringing the right foot all the way back into three-legged dog right away. Beautiful. Then bend that right knee, opening up the hips here. Try to keep your shoulders square. So even weight distributed amongst both hands. Maybe you can see your toes if you look underneath your left armpit. Woo. And then bring that right knee all the way to your nose into plank pose. Engage the core. And back into three-legged dog. Bending that right knee, opening up the hip. And then if you took it to wild thing on the other side, maybe try this side too. So the right foot comes all the way over, touches the floor. Your right hand releases off the floor and opens up. Hips lifting to the sky. Ah. To come back, turn your gaze to where your hands are and work. Place that right hand back on the floor. Your lower body will follow. Walking your dog out for me here. One heel at a time, pressing towards the floor. Beautiful. And let's bring that right foot through in between the hands. Left foot follows. Halfway fold. And then we rise up into mountain pose. Hands come up to the ceiling. And back down to heart center. Let's lift that right knee now. So find your gaze. Doing a balancing pose. Engage that left leg. Pressing into all 3 points of that foot. Lifting the arches. And let's bring that right leg now over the top of the left leg. Cross legs. Maybe tuck the right toes just behind the left calf if that's available. And this time we're going to wrap our right hand underneath our left hand. Then place the back of the hands together. Or if you can, wrap the right fingers around, sit them in the left palm. So you should feel like a pretzel here. Lifting the hands up to the ceiling. Opening up the back of those shoulders. Oh, that's a nice release. Definitely a little wobblier on this side. Keep your focus. Then uncross those legs. Still balancing. Lean forward slightly and step that right foot back into a lunge. Your arms are still connected. Reaching the hands up to the ceiling. Maybe turn your gaze up to the ceiling. Slight back bend. Drop your hips a little bit lower, bending that front knee. And release the hands. Rain them down to the ground. Hands either side of that left foot, and then step the left foot back into a child's pose. Wide legs, wide knees. Hips come to the heels. And rest your head on the hands. When you're ready, come on all fours. We're going to do froggy pose. So let's go sideways on our mat and bring the knees even wider. So it's similar to the child's pose, but you're pressing the knees out wide now. And your feet aren't connected. So you want to actually make sure the shins are parallel with each other. Let's lengthen our spine. Try not to drop and arch the back. Nice and long, engage the core. So your spine should be parallel with the floor. And then walk your elbows back so your hips shift in between the knees. Right, see what's coming before you hear me explain it. All right, coming onto your hands again and come out nice and slow. Shift your knees in closer one at a time. Come down onto a seated position. We'll do a few windscreen wipers so that your knees drop left to right. Check out the hips. And then coming down, and let's bring our left foot in towards our right butt cheek, and our right foot crosses over that left knee. So one more twist here. Wrap the left hand around that right knee. Pull it in nice and close. Turn your gaze maybe over your right shoulder. If you're feeling spicy and you want a little extra, maybe grab that outside edge of the right foot and straighten out that leg and straighten out your right arm. Beautiful. So pulling that left leg still over towards the left side. Your right leg over towards your left side. And then pulling the right arm back over towards the right side. Really opening while you're twisting the spine. And release. Bring that right foot now in towards your left hip. So stacking the knees is the aim. See how close you can get. Lifting up nice and tall in the spine here. Try to plant your sit bones down on the floor. So you may have noticed one of them was tilted up. See if you can push that right hip bone, the sitting bone, back to the ground. And then we'll walk our hands forwards on our fingertips. Really easy here. Take it nice and gentle as we fold over the top of the knees. It's a really deep hip opening. So be easy on yourself. Maybe hum your favorite song. Helps ease into it. And then walk your hands back towards your knees and sitting up tall again. Release that top leg. Do another few windscreen wipers, side to side. before we come onto the next leg. So let's pull in the right foot into your left foot and cross over the left foot over the right knee. So first you twist, let's wrap that right hand around the left knee, pulling in the chest and the knee together, lifting the spine. Turn your left hand out to the side, maybe use it as support for your spine. If you want that extra little juice, grab that edge of the left foot with your right hand and try to straighten out that leg, and then maybe even release the left arm out. And see if you can turn your gaze to the left hand. Nice long spine. Wee-hee. All right, release that foot and then try to stack the knees again. You may find one side's very different to the other. That's okay. While you're here, find the sit bone. See if you can press that left sit bone back to the ground. And just grab your feet for me for a moment and give them a little rub. Poke your fingers around on the bottom of the feet, soles. Give them a little massage. Poking around where it feels nice. And then start walking those fingertips over to the front again and fold over the top of the knees. And again, you go easy on yourself. It's a very deep stretch. All right, walking back up into a seated position. Release the legs. One more windscreen wipers. So shifting knees side to side, let them flop. Whew. All right, and then we'll find our way down to Shavasana. So you're slowly going to come down onto your back. Tuck your shoulders a little bit underneath your chest, opening up nice and broad. Really make yourself wider than usual here. Take up space. Been confined, let yourself take up the room you need. Just let your ankles drop out wide, your palms facing the ceiling. Ready to receive good stuff. So a few breaths here, just noticing maybe your tummy rising and falling. Maybe there's birds around you singing their morning tune. Maybe relax your chin, give a little shake. That's that jaw. Lick your lips. Relax the space between your eyebrows. Feel yourself sinking deeper into the floor. The more you let go, feel taken care of. Start bringing your awareness back in the room. Maybe do a yawn, stretch your limbs, your arms up above your head, lengthening from the tip of your toes to your fingertips. Tuck your knees into your chest, give yourself a big cuddle. Then rolling over onto your right side, rest your head on the right arm. Stay here for another moment. Just noticing how relaxed and peaceful you may feel, or calm, joyful. Then sitting up taller into a seated position. Find a comfortable pose. Way to sit, maybe on your blanket again. And just before we finish up, I'm going to do a small humming exercise just to get our vocals feeling nice and juicy too. So let's think about when you're making a humming noise, you feel like a bit of a vibration. So let's place our hand on our throat, just a few fingertips, closing the mouth, and then as you exhale through the nose, do a humming now as noise for me, and really feel that vibration in the neck area. So inhaling and exhale. One more time, same area. Inhale and exhale. We'll do two more spots. So let's place our hand on the top of our nose, kind of where the eyebrows almost meet. And then this time it'll be a slightly higher pitched noise for you to feel the vibration more in this area. So let's try that. Inhale. One more time. And then onto our heart. So placing fingertips on where our heart is, our chest is. And this time it's a lower hum. So let's do two more here. Inhale. A nice, long, slow exhale. One more. And exhaling. And just return to your normal, natural breath. Place your palms together. And I hope you have the most amazing day and entire weekend. Namaste. I know there was a noise delay, but enjoy your day, guys. I'll end it in a few minutes to make sure it finishes up for you. See ya.